Welcome to the Pop-Up Research Station, where we explore temporary public art, creative placemaking, and cultural urban planning by having conversations with the artists and arts organizers who make it happen. We offer valuable insights and solutions for programming by presenting case studies from real-time projects that benefit the arts community. Our cafes serve as a data collection session, allowing for the review and application of findings in future projects, ultimately leading to improved outcomes. Thank you for joining us.
Preston Park and Brighton.
Hi, Liza.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, Lisa.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were going to talk about the good time that we had on Saturday. A lot of work, a lot of moving parts, but the feedback, we got really good feedback on the event. You know, it was a perfect day, uh, just right. Wasn't seasonally too hot out there. You know, we didn't have problems with mosquitoes. We did have those bees flying around though. And I'm like, I can't do anything about the bees, sorry. You know, but we don't have the gnats and, flies, and we didn't have the mosquitoes out there. But and I didn't have my camera with me, so I don't have a documentation to share. I know Carl was taking photographs, so he has documentation he could share with us here on Pop-Up Research Station. I was going to wait and gather it from, I know the village had a photographer out. They also had a drone taking videos, you know, and so they're going to produce that. Um, I feel like we had everybody felt like we had an overwhelmingly good response of folks that came out, and the count was near 60, and we really prepared for 50, if that many. But I just think that even the village managers that were there, the trustees that were there, everyone seemed, happy that it was, I don't know, there was just a surprisingly success, I felt, for Saturday.
Well, I
You
didn't
know,
think it was surprising at all.
well,
You did what you had to do and it worked. That's great.
yeah. Like we brought that kind of, element to it, like that. But in terms of, like the feedback that I've gotten from other events that Oaks, I've been out to Oaks and Folks, not Oaks and Folks, but out to open lands, like during the tree planting, and the conversation was, this is a lot of people from other communities, but it's not from our community. And part of our contract is about community engagement, and how do we get the nearby neighbors, to come out. And what I'm always talking about, our field study and data collection. A lot of the folks from the village had never even been to open land. And some
Right.
of
That's
them,
amazing. Right.
yeah, some of them had those, like, this is, even the new director, Mr. Lewis, was like, this is as far as he's gotten, you know, into the open land. And that was to Peter's installation from the beginning of the trail at Holmes. And we're like, what? And you live right here. And so that's the kind of feedback that we got, that a lot of people hadn't been there. And then a neighbor,
It's an office guy.
yeah, and then, but and I really appreciate Public Work. They were out there before, they were out there 8 o'clock, getting everything ready, spruced up, taking care of those kinds of details. Even with the fall leaves coming down, they got out and did the blower and, set up the table. And we were there at
It's
9.
open lands with a
Open
blower.
land. What's the difference? Because you guys are throwing a lot of stuff at me that I have to navigate. And one of those things of navigation is, who are you now? You've been merged in with the beautification commission, and on some stuff that goes out, you're a subcommittee all of a sudden, when you were a branch of government there, that, you guys ran the open land. And so there's this thing that's happening with, and we're not caught in these crossfires, but there's a thing that's happening this year with you all, and you can talk about it a little bit, you know, um, Carl. And there's this resistance as well with the people that signed up for beautification. And at that one meeting we were at in September 15th, and there was this thing that was going on about, I didn't sign up for open lands. I signed up for the Beautification Commission, and they could not handle sitting out in the woods for the little bit of time that we did, trying to plan, the dedication. So if you want to, enlighten us on what's going on with your government over there.
The originally Debbie Jones asked me to come out and help remove some buckthorn. I think it was 93 that we started. And she was a beautification commissioner. And so the Open Lands Committee was part of beautification. And then I don't know where it was Donaldson or Alsbury, decided, well, we'll make Open Lands its own commission, but it didn't codify it. We ran beautification and Open Lands really as one, that there wasn't a lot for beautification to do since 2007, when the housing development or housing, took a tumble. And, there hasn't been many, new developments or new businesses or whatever for beautification to look at their, landscaping plans and so forth. And, so, we ran it as one, taking care of beautification as necessary and open lands on a regular basis. And Dante, realized that open lands had never been codified, how we're going to do it. And then he looked at, beautification, and part of beautification charge was, to take care, to oversee the open lands kind of thing. So we just came back into a committee. And not much has really changed. But we had some people that, just wanted to attend meetings and do, one meeting a month type thing, and okay, I've done my civic duty type thing, and I can put it on a resume. And, instead of, continual, work. And, the open lands is continual work that, we do each week, during the week. And I was supposed to, as one of the grants we got, I was supposed to have a helper starting April 15th for 20 hours a week through December 15th, or 700 hours. And I finally got the individual about September 12th or something like that. Kind of thing.
And that was, what's his name? That was out there?
Charlie. That's
Charlie.
Charlie. So, he and I are working 4 days, 4 of the 5 normal work days, and then Saturday. If we hit a holiday week, we'll probably work whatever, but his 700 hours are going to be put in between, September and April 30th, the end of our fiscal year. Kind of thing. And, So, you know, the one thing we're doing is trying to remove as much buckthorn as we can, and then, you know, do some cleanup work on, well, not necessarily cleanup work, but do, you know, cut some of the heavy stuff on Saturday on our work days. So, but, you know, he and I were able to, put the form in when the contractor, you know, they were working with, do the colored concrete, you know, couldn't do it quick enough, and, you know, so we went to Plan B, and we will be coating the, concrete in a little bit, you know, letting it cure just a little bit more, with a colored sealer to give it the look that we wanted. And kind of thing. So that's basically, you know, what we were doing. So, you know, Public Works, you know, grabbed the tables and tents and sort of stuff. And, you know, we were making sure other stuff was done and so forth.
Yeah, I think your team really did, I really did an excellent job. I think, you know, I saw them hands-on all throughout the day, troubleshooting where troubleshooting needs to be done, especially with those chairs, you know, we had just put maybe a dozen chairs out there because that was, you know, our mind capacity of we're not gonna have a lot of chairs. But, you know, when people kept coming and kept coming, you know, they went back across the street and just start grabbing more chairs and brought chairs and set them up. And I mean, it wasn't something where it was on the to-do list. It was just things that they were making the event successful, those things like that. Marilyn and I saw that they didn't, like, I didn't eat any at all either. I didn't get maybe some grapes, right? You know, and I was drinking mocktails, you know, that with cranberry so I could have some energy and I wasn't parched because I'm a pacer and I was just pacing back and forth between Christy, you know, installation and Peter's installation and making things, you know, that's how I do when I event managing is always keeping a handle on, you know, fires that could come up and just keeping things tidy as such. But you know, I just, you know, looked at, I did tell the guys, grab a lunch, make sure you grab a lunch, right? And foresight, I should have left sandwiches over in the senior room so that they would be taken care of. And I think Marilyn and I did talk about, we're gonna need to do something to show appreciation. I know you all have the lunch sometimes, and we were trying to get out there for a couple of luncheons that you all were having to show appreciation. So you know, we're going to show some appreciation for all the work that they did because, you know, it was a lot of heavy lifting on that end that we didn't have to do when we were out there. And I just really appreciate the guys, you know, and everyone appreciated you and all the help that you given. I don't think you were the plan B. I think you were the plan. You know, I don't know why they went out to try to outsource this to a, you know, a general contractor that charged us some, you know, and maybe people don't think that's a high fee, but that was pretty high when we don't have it in our contract, you know, for the, you know, the concrete pour, you know, and we'll talk about the second part of that concrete pour after we have our open discussion on the gala and how we all some feedback. Hi, Christine. You're on mute. Let me take you off mute. I just unmuted you.
Okay,
So
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I came in at 1 minute after 1.
I don't know. The guys were anxious and they were already on. They were on 10 minutes before the show started.
Well,
So we just started. I didn't aggravate them by dragging. We just
Mm,
jumped in and started, you know, having a
sorry.
conversation.
But I am interested in what Carl was saying. He was talking about people who are not contributing or something like that, Carl. I'm not going to ask you to repeat everything, but what was the main idea of what you were saying?
we had some people that signed up for beautification commission that just wanted to, attend one meeting a month and, put down their resume or whatever.
I see. Yeah, there are people like that. And I've always wondered this, how many, I know you have Charlie who has this grant money to work there, but how many regular workers do you have for the Arboretum?
None.
None?
None paid, all volunteer.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my God.
even Maryland is a volunteer position that come out there. And then I felt like the ladies that were the last ones, we were all of course, the first ones arrive, we're the last ones leave.
Mhm.
And they were like instrumental in also having things just move. They didn't have to be given a task. They were just on it. And I'm so, forgive me for names. I don't know the names, but I even gave one of
Marcia
your,
and Tara for the most part.
which ones?
Marcia and Tara.
Right, and I gave, well, those are the ones, Tara, those were the ones that were like, they didn't want to be out there working and doing any labor,
Right.
and so I put them over there at the VIP, tent for media, like that. If that's what your role is with social media, I just think that everyone has gifts, talents, and abilities that they bring to a commission or, and instead of, I feel that at some point education has to happen and one-on-one horticultural conversations can happen and training those new people that are coming on that feel they don't have a place. This is not what they want to do. They didn't sign up to come out there and dig, pull weeds. They're not going to get dirty. That is the argument. They're not outdoor people. And it's just as if they were, I feel like when I'm sitting there listening, and that's my job to sit and listen and take in information. And this is what they're saying. And so, when I'm talking to you all trustees, I'm saying like, well, look, I support projects in the environment, in the wood. I'm an installation artist, that this is the work that I do. But I know physically my capacity is not picking up a shovel, with arthritis. I know what my capacity is and what I can put into the project. Maybe they have other gifts, talents, and skill sets that could, augment the work that you all are doing instead of forcing them when they didn't sign up for this, and forcing them to, like that. When you have people that are farmers that have, that work the land, that your people were just nonstop, the ones that just showed up and didn't anticipate the gala. They just showed up on a normal work day and they just jumped right in, and whatever needed to be done, they were just doing it and calling cheers and stacking cheers and just doing. And I was watching and noting that, and they were volunteers that just show up.
They're part of our volunteer group. Cindy and Juanita.
Mhm.
Kind of thing. The village had been gifted some mums, and we took some of them earlier, but all of a sudden Friday night there's a whole bunch of them still there, and if something didn't happen to them, Saturday morning they were going to die. So I had Charlie go down and pick them up. And, so, between 8 and 9 o'clock, we planted 25 mums in the planter at 172nd and Holmes. Kind of thing, to save them. And then, we
My
planted
understanding, when Marilyn went over there to pick them up, they weren't there. When she went over to the admin.
she was looking in the wrong place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the initial, when she went over, she was looking in the wrong place.
So that where you guys planted them, that's where Bill and Marilyn had decided they should go because they were doing the whole native installation out there. So this is where they designated them to go, or you just,
I saw a place to put them.
oh, all right. Yeah, they had they have a schematic that they are going to do out there. And so they even brought a specialist out there when Bill came on Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, Friday. They brought another specialist gardener out there so that they can map out things. And they were really, so hopefully everything is where they designated it to go. And thank you for getting out there and knowing that they needed to go into the ground before they are dead.
Yeah,
But he's planning on coming out there to plant I think he said the tulips, and there's another planting day that he's gonna go out there so that they are ready for the spring. So, but let's, Peter and Christine, your feedback, I had put on the menu up here, just an open discussion about the gala and the dedication and how you all are feeling on Tuesday about Saturday.
Fine. I thought it went extremely well. I was really pleased with the turnout. A lot of the city village people came over and talked to me and thanked me. It all went as smooth as could be from my perspective.
I really appreciated your comments.
Well, you deserve it.
I don't know, but it's a whole team, but thank you.
Anyway, from my perspective, everything went like clockwork. I know it didn't in some cases, but everything, I mean, everything got done, everything was ready. Everybody helped. Everybody in the beginning thanked everybody else 22 times. The village people seemed to take an awful lot of credit for a lot of stuff that Carl and Marilyn and Alpha did.
Oh, well.
Wow, that's their job.
Got done.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the only thing that surprised me was how few residents of Hazel Crest came out as opposed to other people. And how few kids there were.
How
Right.
few?
Yes.
Other than that, I thought it was great.
Well, the fire chief, he brought his family and I counted his
Yeah.
children and the little boy that was helping to,
Yeah,
plant. And my granddaughter was out there and I'm going to show you some video clips of her in her investigation on pop-up research station and that she took of some of the trustees and their comments, as we go on into the, to the pop-up research conversation.
is that the little girl that was working with the drinks lady?
Well, the drinks lady was my daughter, Jasmine Davis with JD.
Yes.
And then, yes,
That little girl is unbelievable.
Yeah.
that's Danny. She's
She
my
is
assistant. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I was
she's
watching
gonna-
her interview people. She was like a real journalist.
Yeah, she takes her stuff serious. And when she's working here with the Phantom Gallery in Open Studio, I let her facilitate a children's workshop painting class. And she has theater in her background. Her mom has her in theater. And one of the things in her acting class, they taught them how to do it interviews. So
Well,
all I
she's
did
out
was,
there, she's got her little notepad and a phone and she's writing and reading and saying, let me see, wait, oh yes, I have a question here. She's great.
I didn't
Oh.
see that thing until like later, not even that day. I saw it Sunday because I was just wiped out because even when you get home, you're still hauling stuff and you're still
Yeah.
unpacking. And I looked at it and I go, oh no, she's even narrating this whole
Yes, she
thing
is.
like that. So yeah,
She was
thank you.
great.
Did she get a chance? She didn't get a chance to interview you or
No, she was more interested in the village people.
oh, the trustees, right?
Yes.
With the uniform polo
Yes,
shirts.
right.
Yeah, that was fun. I thought that there was more. My understanding that I thought is maybe I know that we had 20 with artist count and Eventbrite. Now, I thought I was very surprised at the number of folks that were actually from the village that was there. I with the trustees that came out, with the other commissions that came out, it was quite a bit of those. I have 30 people that signed in on the sign-in sheet that Tara walked around and gathered, names and stuff like that. I counted 30 that I need to send out. My follow-up, a meticulous little follow-up thing is if they send an email to me, then I can say thank you for attending, blah, 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 and say something else about open lands, as a follow-up for them coming out, right? But some of the folks that lived across the street, and Christine could tell this narrative, that have been there in the village for 40 years, and they sit there and they watch this whole transition happen. And the lady across the street, I'm not sure about her name, but she was telling us about, she came across the street, and I looked up, and she actually came across the street instead of standing on the porch, and became part of it, and then she was watching us the day of the installation. And she came across, and she was in your installation, Christine, faces her front door.
Right.
She can look out the window. She can see the transition of what's going on. And those types of testimonies. And there was another gentleman that was a minister that comes and he was walking the path when Peter's installation was installed.
Oh, yeah, he was funny. He was
There was
great.
plenty, I thought, of people from the village. And then Toke, she is the woman that walks around and she picks up trash just because that's her thing and her, and she's really dedicated every day to getting out. And we acknowledged her, not at the podium, but Marilyn acknowledged by giving her like a gift certificate, and I introduced her to some of the trustees and the village manager about the work that she's doing. And they go, well, we see her out there, but that's it. They see her out there, but they haven't noted the contribution that she has made by just picking up,
Right.
The trash.
That was Tokay.
Yeah, Tokay. Yeah. And I didn't recognize her, and she had her new wig on and everything. She's all dolled up. And she wasn't looking like, so I saw people that were right across the street, you know what I mean? Out
Those
there.
people, I gave a personal invitation to come over,
Good.
before. I
Mhm.
talked to several of the walkers that we saw during the week. And, yet those people, didn't come over.
You didn't see him? I saw like the minister, because he was a walker, but the
Yeah.
other guy he was walking with was more of a guest. So I didn't recognize. I did recognize the minister, and I'm sorry I don't remember names at this point at all. But I go, oh, you came back, and acknowledged them. I gave Toke a actual RSVP invite, to be my guest, and I was really glad that she came over. So I was just looking at the people during the week of engagement, and the broader community. I don't know, of course, but a lot of them had the same comments that they didn't even know that this stuff was going on over there. And you guys are out there all the time working, but it's just a sense of how, again, the engagement piece. We're inviting people to actually come to, and they saw it. And I felt that the village put a lot into, I don't think they were micromanaging. This is the Art and Woods, is Dante's, baby that he gave us this contract, and he was having us on meetings, planning meetings. I really appreciate the way they brought in Mr. Lewis, the director of Public Works. He's new. He just jumped right in to kind of start ticking and turning this project over to Public Works, and not necessarily running it from the admin office, but running it from Public Works. And so I know that the maintenance on everything is going to be maintained, that we have everyone engaged. And now they're talking about safety out there. They're talking about how they need more security out there. One of the other trustees was talking about the things that you all need. So hopefully those things won't be just the moment, of everybody being celebratory and celebrating, you know, what's the transition of what's happening out there. And so those things need to go back to you all's committee and not be just erased or just, you know, talked about that day of, but to be actually, let's talk about, you know, how they're gonna put in security, how they're gonna, you know, put lights. Is that gonna change? What is that gonna change about how people interact with, and do they walk through there at night? What are some of the other things that happen out there that I'm not privileged to, because I'm not coming out there at night.
Out there at night, oh my gosh.
I was out there for your moonlight social. That's about enough. I was out there, out there for that. I saw how dark it was until we turned on the balloon light, and
Yeah.
it just lit up everything. And they felt, even with that event, that we needed more. Like, what do you mean more? This was just like, we didn't even know how many people were going to come out for that, and that was successful. And so a lot of the feedback was really great. I just think it was really great. Christine, how did you feel about?
Well, I thought that you, Marilyn, and Carl knocked it out of the park. I just thought it was fantastic. It was elegant. It was interesting. It was fun. I can't think of any, I mean, that's an event that's successful if you have all of those things going on. It was great. It was just very impressive and just fun to be at.
I saw some of your, well, I know them, but I hadn't been seeing them in a while. Some of the artists that belong to your sculpture group.
Yeah, actually, it was just a painter friend of mine came, and then Gene Scala, who is he is the executive director of CSI. And that was about it. You know, I did not send out a general invitation to CSI. As Peter said, you know, we thought it was far away and probably people wouldn't come. And so I just, you know, I sent out personal invitations to people who might be interested. And there were people who said they were going to come and they didn't, and not very happy with them right now. But you know what? It's their loss because they missed a great event.
I was glad to see the artists that I saw that I've worked with in the past, and I love their work, you know, and I was just glad that they came, you know what I mean, and you know, acknowledged that the work you're doing out there. So I don't have the list of the other 5 people that RSVP, but there are some folks on our committee with the William G. Center for the Arts that said they were coming, and I gave a count, and they didn't come, and they're on our committee. So and they didn't give an excuse for reason why that they were going to come out. But I just felt like the folks that came enjoyed the afternoon, and it went really fast. You know, it was, and they were surprised that we would go that length to have who brings white tables and highboys out to the woods, who brings, you know, the tables, and the florals were beautiful. And I know, Carl, you were taking photographs. Do you have any of those? The only ones that I got were the ones you sent of all of the trustees standing there in photographs. And I looked like I was eating a lemon or something that was so sour. I'm like, what was wrong with me? Everybody's showing teeth, and I'm like,
I have some.
did you want to share?
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, not right now because I don't know how to do that. But I could definitely send some. I have some from let's see, when we were all standing there, and the arborist or the tree farm person, you know, the husband and wife, the wife,
Becky.
yeah, took my camera. She said, "Do you want me to take pictures?" I said, "Okay, fine." So I have some of those, and then Carl sent me some, so he has some. And okay, so before I forget, and I think I mentioned this woman to somebody, very young woman, who talked about crocheting trees
Right.
Yeah.
in the future. And
Yes.
Do you know who that young woman is, Carl?
It's a, our, I-man, dash NURRIDIN.
No clue.
Nuddirrun?
Okay. Yeah, her last name is AL
Uh-huh.
dash NORRIDIN.
Okay.
Her first name is I-man, IMAN.
Amani.
Okay. Or Iman?
Aman.
Iman El Noureddin. That's what I have.
She lives 2 streets east of the Open Lands Arboretum.
Mm-hmm.
One of the memorial trees that we have there is for her father,
Right.
and that's where I met her.
Uh-huh.
So,
Very,
that-
very
so,
nice.
so that we don't have randomness that happens during this project. What I mean by randomness, now all of these other projects are taken off. Bill is curating and
Yeah.
with the village, the look of the sculpture installation. So if we start, Peter had made this suggestion, and we're going to follow through with that we're the first team that went out. We're going to do a call for projects, on the next go and interview, look at their portfolios, and then go
Right.
through this process,
Mhm.
of bringing the art and presenting that art once it's selected to the committee and then to the trustees once it's approved. So
Okay.
it's great that we get people's names and what they do, but instead of just like, I just feel in terms of curatorial practice, it can get kind of weird now if everyone says, I want to do something and it's just open field. We would
Mhm.
like to go through our process as long as we have this contract of, yes, referring artists, but let's get them in on like the team, that they're coming
Right.
out and that they're proposing a project, they're showing their portfolio. And so that way, when, just like I did for you all, I asked you to give me a proposal of what you want to do. How much is it going to cost? And that way I can write them into, the bigger plan. And once we've set up everything in a curatorial manner.
Right.
Yeah,
Understand?
she and I talked. I invited her to come to the October meeting and, present to the commission what she would like to do.
Right.
Yeah, I like to, get, local people involved in doing things. And, we looked at the fire hydrants and started, to paint them. You know, the art society from the local high school came out and, painted a bench and, the stool. And, you know, um, doing some things and,
I think that is a great idea of what you're doing, but I'm gonna, Marilyn is concerned about all the decisions that are being made and they haven't been through her, where the way the channel is supposed to go. And I just kind of made my remark about curatorial. We've been brought out by the village to curate the art in the woods. And so we really don't want haphazard, or just different things going on
Right.
beyond our contract by the committee. We'd like to set up a process, for next year. And they come through that channel, through the committee, as well as, of course, it's going to be presented to to you all's committee and then the trustees. But we've been, that's the direction Mr. Sawyer has given William Hill Center for the Arts to come out. And this is the initial curatorial, experts that I brought to the village to do this, but also the art plan has to be a plan where, again, it's not just a bunch of different stuff going on at the same time and nothing's put in motion where, we have a process that we need to go through and not where we have a different randomness that doesn't go with Art in the Woods. And then we can, talk about that. We're supposed to show up at your next committee member and do our report. So that's going to be my recommendation, following through with what Mr. Sawyer wants to look, and a curated look for the space, and not everybody just jumping in now, we're going to do this. But I wrap trees. I'm a tree wrapper. I've got projects where I've wrapped trees, crochet, ribboned trees. I'm a tree wrapper too, but I'm not jumping in saying this is what I'm going to come out there and do without approval going through approval process.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't
That's
mean to
just my
interrupt.
input. I'm going to read this real quick. Marilyn sent me this.
Okay.
And there was a person that her husband who has dementia, and she gave Marilyn rave reviews, who came out there with her husband who has dementia. And then, so this is what she said. Hi, Marilyn, I'm giving you an A on your event. Speakers did not speak long and they got right to the point. Decorations on the tables and food in the lunch bags get an A. Cheers for everyone, and the walk to see the new items in the park were convenient for everyone. Your open lands event was great. And I can tell that it took a lot of time to get everything organized, and that was sent to Marilyn, from one of her friends. Again, we did see folks that were, were in wheelchairs and walkers, that came out, and we left the pathway so that, they can be mobile around things. I really like the way, since the Soul Music School added that part down at the end, they found a cove, and they brought a following of people that brought their lawn chairs and sat there so they could listen to that concert that was happening down at the end of the way. They were invited. It was an improv tune, show up, come over here. It was a process that they went through to be contracted to come out. And that was great, for the day. Yeah, so those are some of the written comments that I'll have in the report, that people made, while we were out there.
Okay, can I make a pitch
Sure.
for my project this Saturday at Beaubien Woods, which I think would be great for the Arboretum as well. And again, we're just throwing things out like, crocheting trees, etc. Alpha, do you have that flyer I just sent you? I wonder if you could share it.
I actually RSVP'd when I was part of that chain. And I said I already plan on coming, because I picked up, and I didn't, then I read it that everyone's going to paint, and it's going to be, you can go or do your PSA if you want, but I was going to bring some pieces out that I had that were cut off of the seating, so I could work on that when I come. And then I had some more rounds that from Evanston that I was going to work on when I came. But yeah, I put that on the calendar. And right now, looking
Well,
for.
yeah, as I responded, we have 55 logs that were cut from the forest preserves. We have to use those. And they're going to go into the nature path. And yes, there you go. So Carl and Peter, you are invited this Saturday. And now that's the image, but there's also, are you busy?
Yes,
Okay.
sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, I put that image in, I think I'm also seeing the flyer there.
Well, I'm giving, this is what I have from the email, the image that I was thinking.
Right, and then I attached the flyer, which has the image and the information. So I can send it to.
I have it right here. Just don't.
Okay.
Hold on just a minute.
But I think this would be something that would be great for, there we go. That would be
That would be
great.
great for open lands to have a workshop out there like that.
Right, that would
Right.
be fantastic.
Right, and everybody can do it because there are stencils. Carl can cut all of these log cookies, and you know, everyone can be an artist. Everything would be provided. I bought all the materials for my workshop on Saturday, and this is what the Forest Preserves is paying me to do, and you know, paying for the materials and everything. So now Marilyn's on vacation. Is she the one that wrote?
She's on a cruise right now.
Oh my God. And so how long is she going to be gone?
Is that
I
a
don't
Carl
know.
question or my question? I don't know how she's gonna be gone at least a week. They got 7-day
okay.
cruise going on out there, so she'll be back, you know, a week or so.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I thought that, you know, she and Carl could participate and then also see the gathering space for the first time. But anyway, this is just another idea of what can be done in open lands in the future. And
Yeah. Workshops that we're supposed to do in terms of community engagement. So, you know, we can fit this in this year and talk about that, because Bill changed his workshops instead of doing them in the fall because of his schedule. He's changing his workshops to be, he's doing digital photography.
mhm,
So he has to do the outreach, you know, to the schools. I'll pull up his flyer in a sec, but
okay.
he has to do outreach as part of this, our contract. We have 5 community engagement activities that we should be doing.
Mhm,
You know, so this is a great idea of something that we could definitely do with the outreach to the schools.
mhm,
You know, but again, his is for the spring.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's something that we've done with the school kids.
Mm-hmm. And so what Bill is doing is, again, with the digital photography is going to be part of his installation. Let's see, where is his flyer? As part of his installation, you know, he's going to do 3 days of photography. Here it is. We need to start at, you know, kind of moving and getting people registered, you know, for his workshops. I would have liked them to start, you know, while we have the momentum, but this is a photography basic, composition and outdoor landscape. So this is what he proposed to do. And his workshops are going to start, where they're going to bring out just their basic, you know, phone, but he's going to teach them about composition. And so April 11th, 18th, and 25th. And this is right before Arbor Day, where the next installations are going to happen. You know, between mine and Carol Henry, her soundscape will be installed. And then I'll be working with Peter to talk about the installation that I'm going to do. And both of those should be ready, you know, for Arbor Day, which is the 25th of April. Am I correct, Carl?
Yeah, Arbor Day is technically the 24th. We celebrate it on the Saturday after, which would be the 25th.
Okay. So this is, you know, kind of what he wants to do. We want to get this flyer out. I talked with him yesterday, and we want to get this flyer to the liaison from, you know, the school district, so that we can start, and the colleges out that way, so that we can begin having a good group of folks registered to come out. So again, Christine, that's if you're looking at wanting to be part of the community engagement and getting the schools out, I think this would be a great opportunity and time to introduce your workshop. And so I guess the next question is, am I going to be paid for this? There's Carol.
Hi, Carol.
I think it'd be great if,
Hi, everybody.
hello, Carol. How you doing?
Good, good, good. I'm hanging out with a 98-year-old lady this afternoon, listening to her stories. So I just left her for a few minutes to come and greet you guys and just like, really appreciate the work you've been doing. It's so
Mhm.
amazing. I'm so inspired. And I
You're kind of breaking up. I guess is the
as
connection
a
out
parent.
there. It's the
What's
You're
that?
connection.
You're frozen, Carol.
John.
Can you hear me though?
Now we did hear you, but you're kind of breaking up. You're going in and out.
All right. Well, I'll leave you to your meeting. I'll
But
hang
no,
out.
we can hear you now.
Okay.
Mm,
I just,
yeah.
looking at the work on the videos and the still pics, it inspires me to the next level, with the wind chimes. And I'm excited because I think that in addition to the land being of great inspiration, it's also the artwork of Peter and Christine that is also inspiring me. And that part will be their inspiration, will certainly be part of the work that I'm creating. Definitely. Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna run on some. We had some images from the gala. Did you have those ready, Carl?
Hi, Carl.
Hello. No, I did not. I don't know how to do that.
All right, so Liza, can you help him, or it's still in your camp because you have a regular, like a big, really expensive camera that you use when you go out there, and then also Christine had some images that she needed to show. But while we're figuring that out, I'm gonna show some of the photographs that I took of her installation um, um, when she was redoing the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Carl, would you want to go into a breakout room and we can practice and then come back?
Practice who?
Practice putting up images so this way
Uh,
everybody doesn't have to sit through the. But if that's a bad idea, we could just do it right now.
That's a bad idea. We can do it right
Okay.
now. All that extra stuff. You just really want to use that breakout room.
Mm.
Okay.
trying
Okay. So are you using your desktop?
Yes.
Okay, so if you use your cursor to go down to the bottom, typically it's on the bottom, you'll see a green share button,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where you'll be going. But what you want to make sure is any image or any website that you want is open. And
Yeah.
then when you click on the green share, it should give you the options of everything you have open on your desktop.
Got it. All right. So I should open these images first.
Yes.
All right. I got
And you
it.
may have to share one, close it, then hit the green button and share the next one. There are ways to set it up where you can go through all of them, but the
Mm-hmm.
easiest way probably now is just to close each one as you show them. More than likely, that's.
Oh, we shouldn't have them all open at one time?
Well, you can, but then we would barely be able to see them. So if you open each, there you go. And you are able to go from image to image. So that's good.
And you can enlarge these too as a slideshow.
There you go.
Well, she got some good pictures.
Oh,
Can
okay.
you enlarge these so we can see it on the full screen? Christine?
This is Carl doing this.
Oh, this is Carl. Oh,
Yeah.
We
Carl,
can
can you
see him,
enlarge?
it's fine.
Oh, I want the full screen. What are you talking about?
Oh, we've already seen these.
These are great.
Yeah, they are. If we could just get the full screen, can you walk them through? Push that button at the top that says full screen and slideshow. Yeah. There you go.
Mm-mm.
a minute.
Go up there to where it says
Can't do that.
slideshow.
There we
Yeah, there
go.
you go. Hey, hey.
Right on.
Oh, they just love that seat element.
Did you do that, Alpha?
No, Christine did this.
Carl
Christine?
and Christine did that.
Uh-huh, yeah. And so I wanted to make sure on this one, I had the info graph and then the city yard sign with the city seal.
Carl made the chair, but I painted it.
I
Mhm.
see. Good collaboration.
Yep.
The important thing that it's a comfy chair.
It is.
Is it?
And
Extremely
an ottoman
comfortable.
to go with it. Like,
Right.
and here's Becky and what's his name?
Jamie,
Jamie with the dedication of the oak.
and Joe, their son Joey is in a green shirt here.
Okay.
He took a 4-story fall last winter
Oh my God.
and from a hotel. They were at a conference and I'm not quite sure where, but he spent several weeks in the hospital and then rehab, and the fact that he's able to walk around is just amazing.
Oh my God.
Is that the mayor?
The village manager,
The village manager. Okay.
The village president, she wasn't able to come. She had our conference that she was going to, but the trustees are there. They're all in the polo shirts.
I see.
The mayor
What?
has been to
Oh.
the
Woo.
mayor has been to other events.
Yeah, she came to our Moonlight Social,
Yeah, and several other ones.
I'm
She's
sure,
been,
but we're talking about Art and Woods. Since we've been on board, those are the two projects that I've seen her.
yeah.
I mean, you have so many, it's just multiplying, isn't it? Attendance.
Exactly. We had 30 during the Moonlight Social, and now here we are with over 60 folks came
Alpha,
out.
that's awesome. You guys, great.
That's so sweet.
There's one trustee, she didn't put that polo on. She, had a bright, colorful shirt on. She's like, I'm not doing polo today, unless they didn't get it ordered or something. But I put these little containers together. Everybody loved those, like
Oh, they were
empty,
great.
cans, paint cans. There
That's
you go.
good energy coming off of all these photos I
Yeah,
see.
absolutely. Absolutely.
This is the first time I'm seeing them because again, my camera was over there in the other senior room. Just go back, Carl, and freeze. Oh, you got it on the slideshow, so it's going on its own. But I just want to just take a look at Christine's sculpture right here. Anyway,
Yeah.
nice setting. I didn't go over there and get a pose on the chair. I guess I was walking around too much.
That's
So
played really well for photographs with that was a great choice.
yeah.
Thank you. That was great.
Go back up to the top. We didn't get those with the installation and everything, Carl. I really love the way you got this, so we can document this process here. Like even with the, yeah, this is the part with the dedication. So this is how it looked, Carol, with the pathway was with the, we had a DJ there for being able to use the microphone.
Okay, it's right at the entry.
Mm-hmm. So what happened to Christine's, you kind of, we saw these, but her, you didn't go back all the way to the top of where the folks were sitting in there. You hear the lady?
Cloudburst.
No.
Cloudburst.
And this is Dante Sawyer. He's our I don't know if I introduced him to you, Carol.
Yeah, I
Um,
talked with him. Yeah.
Yeah, he has the vision for the larger sculptures to come out and, you know, use the whole, go all the way up to the top so we can see the audience, all the way up to, yes. Yeah. They made sure they brought another photographer out, and that photographer had a drone where he was videotaping, and we did need that aerial view.
Like that smile, Christine.
No, where is the?
I was sincerely happy.
I can see that. I can see that. Beautiful.
So I was looking for her. There we come. Her Christine's installation and Peter's. You were there and taking photographs the day Peter's was installed too. Here we go. Yeah. We got that in the
You
ground.
guys were talking about doing the base to look like wood. Is that still happening?
It will be, uh, Peter
Yes.
wanted 3 grooves in it and with just color. We're going to color it with a concrete sealer.
I
Let
see.
the concrete cure just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks great.
And you can see this sculpture from like all directions.
Yep.
You know, I don't know, Peter couldn't have planned that location any better. You know, from the was it Emerson Street?
Yes.
Homes, and then you can also see it as you're going down Homes, you know, the other direction toward California.
Hello, Tobin.
So I'll put you on mute right now since you're on the phone. But yeah, so this sculpture is really powerful. You can see it, you know, and even with the winter coming, Peter, your intent was, I heard you telling folks how you, did I feed it to you, Peter? How when you went out there on the rainy day, what was the
Yeah.
background on the your vision for the sculpture?
Right.
You said, right, what was it?
Oh, that you can see it from everywhere in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it no matter where you walk, you can see it.
So we're going to go to the next slide, Carl.
Oh, that was a good shot of Christine's rear end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
I'm glad he flipped real quick. I'm glad he really flipped quick past mine. Like, ooh, got me out there. Yeah. So she was having her lunch that day and just prepared to just, you know, just kind of flow with it. And then the lady, resident from across the street, said she had been there 40 years. She's the one that came across and she just was really watching what we were doing and, you know, complimenting Christine on the work. And this is here the other installation showing the installation of the hazelnut arch.
So that's the chair before Carl went at it. And that was an elm? It is an elm, Carl, as well?
Is he on? He's on mute. That's fine.
He's
I'll
on
unmute you, Carl. There you go. You unmuted.
Is that an elm as well, Carl?
Yes, I
chair?
don't know where that was a American elm or Siberian elm, but it was an elm.
Okay. So this is Carl cutting them down to size before he notches the two trees. See the big piece.
Bore
around.
cut through for the notch.
All right, so that's it. That's a sculpture wrapped up to protect the carved elements. Mhm.
Just beautiful.
Thank
It's a
you.
really good shot.
We
How far
had
down
this,
did that go?
30,
What?
30 inches.
The tube is 5 foot deep. First 30 inches, we filled with rock that, you can see right there where the cursor is, and then we backfilled in around it.
Did you use an auger to?
Backhoe.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I'm glad it was really dry that we could get this truck here and didn't have to push wheelbarrows up the.
Mhm.
And their level was the same as mine. We got the bubble just to the line. That's all, just enough slope to drain the water off.
I like the way you guys thought that through. You don't want water settling on top of the platform.
And who did the concrete? What company?
Rosinga.
Oh, Zynga.
Yeah, Hozinga had the concrete. JJ Newell, who was in town replacing curb and sidewalks for ADA sidewalks for street repaving. And because we only needed 1.5 yards of concrete, but the minimum amount of concrete that you can get with a truck delivery like that is 7 cubic yards. And so, they started pouring early in the morning, and this was their second truck. And, they came and, poured it. Then this crew came back after set up just a little bit, to do the edges and to put in the 3 grout lines, per Peter's specifications. So that was on Friday morning that we did that. We set the tube on Thursday.
And it wasn't disturbed at all. We thought, like the workers saying that sometimes when they do the driveways, they have folks that, kids
Yep.
come out, draw in it, step in it and all that kind of stuff, and then they have to come out and redo it. So that wasn't something we had to worry about out there.
Yeah, and Thursday, Charlie and I put the wood chip path into the street. And, continued it over to the chair.
Now, Carl, did you make the mulch, the wood chips? Do you have a wood chipper?
We no longer have a wood chipper, but we have, local companies that dump for us there. And when the pile gets too big, we call Possibility Place Nursery and they send a semi. We usually do 3 semis in a day. When, they take our wood chips and, then use it in their tree production and, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we would chip around, a lot of our trees and stuff. All of our trees when we plant them.
I liked when we came back, you had smoothed out, and did the finishing work on Peter's installation as well on the ground there.
Yeah, we had a topsoil there. Now that it's now that we got a good rain this morning, we'll probably be doing a little bit more.
Okay. Now, what is this?
This is the
cutting the
tree
tree.
that became the chair.
Uh-huh.
These are the 2 trees from which the hazelnut archway is done.
So originally, how tall were they? 30 feet or?
Jesus.
They were in the neighborhood of 50.
Oh, 50, wow. So it looks like the one that became a chair was dead anyway, is that true?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That's why I couldn't tell you whether it was Siberian or American.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to reach everything, I had to be fully stretched out on that 55-foot lift. Now, I wasn't quite 55 foot in the air because I was off to the side a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
it was over 50.
Wow.
No, it took an hour to put it on the ground.
Jeez.
Oh, so that's what was when we came out there, what was stacked up was in the logs and stuff was this tree that it had just cut down, right?
Yeah.
So I saw one log there. What did you do with the rest of the logs from the 2 trees and the 3 trees?
Incinerate them.
Ah,
Yeah, there's the height that we left the logs. And then, Christine has the cut just above this notch.
I think it's the perfect height. At first I was concerned when I drove up and saw you just cutting. I thought, well, uh-oh. Cut a little bit at a time. It's just like this is cut this foot off or something. But it worked out, and your rationale was so that it wouldn't be so high that it lost, the proportion.
right. Yeah, it would have looked out of proportion. And also the higher up you go, the less you can see the detail. So I thought it was ended up being a good height.
And there's the lectern that we installed and cut.
Yeah.
So I left those yard signs out there. Did you guys collect them?
Yes,
Okay, good. Because I was like, oh, it's raining. So I know that they're made out of that kind of plastic base and they would weather, but those are, for you guys when you do whatever you want to, but they're for that podium.
yeah,
All right. So we're gonna go into, I had some the pop-up research. I'm really interested, I'm glad you're showing this in the next season. I had pulled up and I'll pull up a um what do you call it? A short reel of a project that was in the American River Conservatory out in California, how they made music from the river, but it was as a soundscape. Maybe I'm not explaining it just right, but um, so we have to think about other things for the canal out there and for the pond area on our next installation. But I saw a really great idea that another group has used for soundscape. And I
Yeah,
want to
I
share
think you
that
sent us
today.
the video, Alpha. I know you sent
Right.
me the video. Yeah, it's pretty
Mhm.
cool.
I think so too. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna we did do some research out there. We call pop-up research, and I was gonna share with you all that as soon as I go back and find the I'll give me a minute to find the video, but I'm not gonna share it until I find it. But it was how we conducted uh, our pop-up research while we were out there on Saturday. And I already put this on our YouTube channel. And so that's what I'm going to pull up really quickly for you. Um, and this was a junior researcher that kind of walked around and got a lot of, feedback from the from some people. So this is how, when we go into the database, I put in Pop-Up Research Station Cafe as a place, for weekly professional development training. And we help build the capacity for stewardship through training, infrastructure improvements, and external partnerships. We envision the project as a portal for shared knowledge, a repository of best practices, a platform for ongoing professional development, and a source of moral support to amplify our collective impact. So young enterprising artist Danny Davis, investigator during the Open Land Oats and Folks Gala in Hazel Crest, Illinois. So this is the video that she did of the event.
Wow, that was a good throw. Sorry. Anyway, do people tend to pick up litter when they see it? I don't know. Do they? Do people tend to pick up litter when they see it?
No, and I think they should pick up litter when they see it. I pick up litter when I see it, but I see a lot of people just walk past, act like they didn't see it, and they need to pick it up.
Do people tend to pick up litter when they see it?
Unfortunately, not many people. Some people, yes. Usually older people like me. I always pick up litter when I see it on my block or at the end of my block. But unfortunately, some people even drive through the community and throw their food containers out with trash. That doesn't happen often. I don't want to give the impression that it happens a lot. Every once in a while. So, yes, I will pick it up, and a few other people pick it up, but overall, no, unfortunately.
Thank you. Can people easily walk to the place? So the question is, can people easily walk to the place?
Absolutely. They can walk through the neighborhood to get here, or they can come right to 170th and Holmes and walk the walk path through.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Guys for
Are
coming.
people in groups?
I'm sorry.
Are people in groups?
Yes, they are. We have this group right here. The jazz group just came. We have the group behind you. There's Kane. And we have some groups down there that came, which everyone enjoyed themselves.
The next question is, can people use various transportation options, bus, train, car, bicycle, etc., to reach the place?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Now what?
You're going to be on Channel 7.
Girl, what channel, what station you with? Oh yes, they can get the little handicap bus, or they could get a Uber, or they could get a Lyft. They could come directly here.
And they can get, what's that other truck on the
Right around the corner from the police station.
CTA bus? What's that other little bitty bus that comes from here?
Wow, with my switch. With my
So
switch.
that's really wonderful.
Where you going, young
And
man?
I like you because you are
Where
not
you going?
bashful.
Where you
She's
going? Where
going
you
to be a
going?
news reporter. I can see that.
And you
gonna
have
make
a
this way
sweet
then.
personality.
And a beautiful smile.
And
Thank
such a
you.
wonderful smile.
Thank you.
Yeah. Keep up the good work.
Is that
You're
your
wonderful.
When do people tend to pick up litter when they see it?
No. They don't. They should.
Yeah, I think they should too.
Yeah.
Can people easily walk to the place?
Sure, yes.
Thank you. Okay, so, oh my gosh, it flew. I'm sorry that you guys have not seen my face in a little bit. I'm sorry. Finding a new question, because they are repeating questions. Okay, here's a new question. And I don't do questions by myself anymore. I go to people. And this time, I'll bring them to you. Are there enough places to sit? Are seats conveniently located?
I think that for today's event that we had plenty of seating and also opportunities for people to get up and walk around. We had both.
Thank you.
So that is our pop-up research station that we improved and did out there because we need to collect data. And the other event, the people in the Open Land Beautification Commission, I asked them to collect data while they were sitting at the table, you know what I mean? And I gave them, you know, we gave them paper, we gave them cards to fill out, and we got some responses back. So I thought I would just prepare something where we would record responses and people didn't feel like they were taking a test, you know. And I did ask Tara, and there was someone else, another trustee was sitting at the commissioner that was sitting at the table passing out information, passing out brochures and information on open land. And did they follow through? No, I don't think that they, well, Tara said she didn't know what to do. And I gave her random questions to just ask randomly because we need to collect data. And that's one of the things I was impressing upon, you know, the committee, that they need to, when they come out to the event, we can give them things for them to do, you know, to help, you know, engage people in conversation. But I know with pop-up research station and surveys, folks do not like to take and write stuff down while they're out, you know, at a gala or something, doing something like this. So I just said, here, can you guys do this? And then Tara gave everything to Danny, and Danny just went for it, you know. And but I didn't know she was going to be the commentary too when she was asking folks. And so I have a couple of reels that are only 2 minutes and stuff, and we'll share those as part of our documentation for questions that were asked out there. So that was and we'll have pop-up research station. We saw some folks down in Southern California, and they sent college students out to ask people and gather information on data. So we'll get more, I don't know, I shouldn't use the word aggressive on collecting data and getting responses from folks. And so for all of you that were listening out there to folks, if you could write down some, if you remember some of the comments they were making throughout the day, then we'll use that as part of the data as well. So.
I have a question for Carl before I forget. I've started to tell people about the winter tree identification walkthrough, or whatever you want to call it, on November 8th. Is that still happening? And is there a flyer for that I can share with people?
I don't have a flyer yet, but yes, that's still November 8th,
At 2 o'clock, I think?
2 o'clock in the afternoon, yes.
Okay, great. All right, and if people are asking me now, where are we going to meet for that?
Same place.
Okay,
Homes in the, we'll meet at Homes in the Pathway.
okay. Great, okay, very good.
But I was gonna make a comment, Alpha, about your data collection techniques and your pop-up research, because I'm doing a project here where I'm trying to bring two parts of a community together: the people who've been here for generations and the new people. And so I've spoken with both. They've written down things on little note cards, and then when I go to the other, I use those note cards on new people to get their opinions of what their neighbors had said. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like they're having a conversation. Like,
Right.
use the data you've already collected as a prompt for the next time you want to talk with community. And that's been working out well. The third time, when everybody came together, was then so much more of a fluid conversation, because even though they didn't know each other, their ideas were being shared. So they had a little bit more information about each other. They weren't total strangers to each other's ideas. But how the ideas flow back and forth. People didn't know each other, is what I'm saying. Introduce the ideas of the quote others across boundaries, so that when they come together, they already have a sense of what people who are not from their community, as they see it, are thinking. Right?
Right.
It's been working really well for us, and because of that, more people are coming, because the ones who've come spread that idea of comfort, like of being heard. Their voice is heard, they're seen, and so they bring others.
So what I've been doing is just, and I'm writing this down, and we already recorded it, but what I've been doing is taking those comments cards that people filled out from the Moonlight Social, and then adding more. But I was just watching how folks just didn't really want to respond or write it. And we only got 10 cards from the Moonlight, But one of the things that Mr. Sawyer said, instead of writing, you're listening, to folks and what their comments that they're making, and making sure that we're recording those, those comments, like that. But again, sometimes I think to make it fun, some kind of way, where people are not, will answer, So we got 2 more reels on that of feedback. But yeah, in data collection, we need to be more, anecdotal, or when people are just, kind of talking about it and making comment about it, and we're listening to the feedback.
Right, and it's almost like facilitating a conversation, even though those people who gave the comments aren't there. It's like continuing their voice into another situation, and they take it from there into another situation. You know what I mean? It's like it lets the ideas move around the community.
Right. So I just have, like I said, I've typed them out. I have them ready for the report card I need to give to the village manager. And I'll have them for, the committee for their meeting on the third Tuesday or third Monday of the month, Carl. Third Monday. So we have a little bit more time left. Those of you that Peter and I were going to start the discussion about the next projects that are going to go in. And so Peter sent me this. And this is our conversation about the next project. And so Peter is going to assist with the fabrication of this project. I still have to do the brainstorming with community or with the commissioners about what they would like to see, but we're having a conversation of the build out first and get that done before we start talking about what is going to be actually painted on the chair. But Peter sent me this, and Peter, if you want to go in and I don't need to read your comments, but lead the conversation here.
Well, it's not conversation. You have to decide how you want to design your chair. The last chair you had fell over.
It didn't fall over. Someone took the bolts out of it to try to steal it.
No.
And I showed you a picture of that here.
Yeah, I saw the picture. So
yeah, and so
you implied that it broke off.
No. What I did say was that someone tried to steal it, basically, and this is how they found it off the mount. But it was too big for them to put it on whatever truck they tried to steal it on. But mind you, there were 4 huge chairs in the
no, I know what they were, right,
on the property of the Sacramento Metro line. And so what I did is I showed you where they took it out of the concrete, and so the general contractor had to come back now and actually weld it. So that they wouldn't take it out or unscrew it off of the mount.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got some other things. I'll just show you what, I have a lot more questions.
Okay, I know. We're going to go through these questions so that we
not
can
right
find.
now. This is just between you and me on designing your chair.
Right. So it's part of pop-up research station 2 that now I'm going into my project that I couldn't talk about and the installation of it or anything, because I really wanted to just focus on you and Christine's piece before I got started on my own. But again,
excuse me just a minute. I've got to run here shortly.
Yeah, me too.
But if you can give us a pattern, we can put bolts in the concrete when we pour it. And then you can just set your chair on the bolts.
I mean, I've got a couple of designs that would work for that. So when I get, talk to those with Alpha, I mean, you can bolt it. You can put like a telescope leg into the inside of the leg of the chair and then bolt those together. So it's so heavy, people can't lift it up. We can always cross thread the bolts so that once the nuts are on, people can't take them off. There's lots of little things that can be done with that.
Yes.
Right. And so that's why we're going to really plan it out. And Marilyn had her question was, this is the back of the chair and it's really high. My thing about height like that is it's a wind variance out there, and it won't tilt because again, you said maybe build it higher.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to bend in the wind.
Exactly. So there was a lot of fault in the other chairs, and that's why we're kind of like re-investigating the better way to do them.
I mean, if you make it 4x4 rectangular steel all the way to the top and it's bolted to the concrete, nothing's going to happen.
And you suggested this be a metal pad or
no?
Yeah,
that's up to you.
I'm over here getting a consult. When you get a consultation, then those are the questions that I was kind of trying to answer.
What is this picture? I don't understand.
Well, this one was, I was trying to get the video set in, but I couldn't. And it just came up on the comment, but I was going to try to click this and I couldn't get a still from the video. So I'm going to show you the video of what I'm doing, but I like the way the leaves are let me try to find the comment thing.
Is that in the concrete or the steel or what?
Here you go, just a minute.
You're never very clear on what you're explaining.
But I said, this is a video. I couldn't paste the link into the document, but it's going to be in the comments. So let me share with you if I can pull this video up, and I'll come back to it. But anyway, you were saying the front of the seat, this is the back, and this is another way, the seat, and that this is the front. I kind of got lost here.
Boy, it's just 90 degrees. Turn it over.
Excuse me.
Alpha, I
Yeah.
don't have to be in on this. I don't want to, interrupt
No,
your.
this is just the rest of the conversation that we're having for the next installations that are coming up. And
Right.
Peter was making, you can leave at any time. But,
Okay, yeah.
this was on our,
Yeah,
just
I have
our
another
topic.
Zoom actually, so I've got to prepare for that. But it was great seeing everybody and
Same here.
yeah, to be continued.
All
See you
right.
later.
Okay, Christine. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Great job.
All right.
All right. And so you mentioned here that, this was their solution, but I don't really think it should be a solution for us because we can prevent this, them cutting that lip off of that chair that's hanging over like that is problematic, and you're right.
That's what I drew, right.
Right.
It's one piece from the back to the front to the bottom.
Yeah. And then so
So
it'll
there's
be,
no seam in the front.
so I think that would work, because the way the other metalsmith, Larry Meeks, that had this contract, we all said, why is this is a flaw in the design or the cutout of it when these flaps were delivered, panels were delivered. So it became another issue. But at the RT station, they didn't make it an issue. But over here, this a property owner had 8 of these installed on his property, and he contracted someone else to actually cut that off because he did see that it was unsafe. The edges were unsafe for, especially for children or people walking by, they could get easily cut on that metal. So that's not a solution we want to do on this one. We have time now to really plan it. I like your idea of it being one piece and not cut. So what you're saying is that when we do the installation, we can put it all together and I would have to paint on site?
When you get the chair, it will be 100% assembled.
Okay.
Then you can paint it wherever you want. You can do it in my shop. You can do it on site. You can do it somewhere else.
I think your shop would work, and then it could be, because I don't want to be out in the elements trying to paint, and I could just schedule some studio days to come and work, and get the painting done once the committee, I show them some design concepts to go on there, and they decide, yes, that I'll have the winter months, and then give them an expected installation time.
I mean, the key thing is the back panel, the back of the chair will be 1 inch shorter than the back. So water will drain out the back.
Like right here, it'll.
I can't point to anything because
I'm doing the sharing. So the next conversation we have, going back and forth, we'll kind of look at drawing the design out. So we'll have a better, I just think that these need a lot of improvement because we saw the faults in the build of these.
Right, but I already gave you those, Alpha. Come on, stop repeating yourself.
Okay, that's fine. So this is what I'm going to try to show you on this. It's not coming up. Let me stop share so I can find it.
Do you need anything, Alpha?
No, I have it. It was just a video that was taken because I didn't take photographs of the actual.
Okay, just let me
So
know.
what is it? What are you trying to show?
Just a minute. Okay, here we go. I was thinking about something like this here. See this right here where the leaves, where they built, this was with the, Bill and I took a field trip over to the Arboretum, Morton Arboretum, and these are leaves that are made out of metal right here. And so what I was showing you was the video of the, see how that is right here? These are leaves that are made
Right.
out of that metal casting. And that's what I was thinking for the leg of the chair, the seat part of the chair. You know, that can be made over that flap, but you already
That's
got,
about $10,000. Is that what you want to do?
no, I don't want to do $10,000 on that chair right now. But that was just the idea that I saw. I know that I saw, and I really liked that idea. And if
I mean,
that
that's cast bronze, the whole seat.
cast bronze,
Yes. That's not steel.
okay. All right, so I'll just squash that concept now.
I mean, you're free to do it. I can make it and have
Well,
it
it's not in
mold
our
cast
budget.
it.
Yeah, it's not in our budget this year to do that, you know, to get cast bronze. But if I get a bid on it, then it could be in our budget for next year like that. So, but I saw that idea and I kind of like that.
Oh,
know,
it's very nice. It's very
Sure.
fancy.
Yeah, and they can let them know what the cost would be to have something like that. But you did you got around having something like that for that straight edge I was talking about on the chair.
Yeah, it's just one piece. The seat of the chair goes to the back to the front, it bends down in the front, and it bends down a little bit in the back, so there's no seam for water to sneak under and rust.
Yeah, so I like that, and so we kind of can try to move forward on it or draw out the scale so that I can show them, you know, what I'm going to be working on, because I do have to present the next
Well, you
thing.
need to tell me the dimensions of the chair.
Okay,
You've given me 3 different dimensions.
I gave you
got-
only
I
the
got
large
the-
one we're not doing, the smaller one we're doing.
But the smaller one, the measurements are from the Sacramento chair, which is not the measurements that we talked about earlier.
Okay,
I mean, if you want to save money, I need to know how. There are certain dimensions that will save you money and certain dimensions that will cost you extra, because when I buy steel, it's 20 feet long. Each, you know, like the 4x4.
mhm. The only thing that was budgeted for this project was $2,000.
That's not very much.
That's what was budgeted for the project. And it was less than that for the chairs in Sacramento that were paid to the artists. You know,
Right.
of course, I had put the how much it would cost for the steel in the budget and how much it would cost to fabricate the chair
Right.
in the budget. So that's what we got to work with.
Okay. So that's the budget, $2,000 for everything,
Yeah.
including the concrete?
And then that's what we had to pull back on and not have installed. And they put a plan B together. And one of the things that Maryland's concerned about is the disturbance of the root systems underneath the ground over there when we start digging down in certain areas. So they're going to have to go out and figure that part out too before we just make a commitment to where it's going to be installed.
Right. Okay. So what about getting them there?
The transport,
Yeah.
that has to be factored in too. For the actual cost has to be factored in.
I mean, the numbers you gave me make no sense from before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're either too low or way too high
There's a
from
lot of
the
ones that-
Sacramento
Yeah,
information.
that project was very problematic,
Yes, I
the
could see
whole
that.
thing.
Yeah,
The more money they had, the more people just tagged on and just held her hostage to have to pay out when it was over budgeted, you know, well, people
Over
just think,
budgeted and underfunded.
it was funded accordingly, but people started gouging or raising their prices or adding things on that weren't part of the contract. And so, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars start
Right, I
going
saw that, right.
in overages, you know, that weren't because of the greed that happened on that project. So, but I don't want to undercut our project either by not giving the actual numbers of what we need
Right.
to make it happen. So, and if you could give me like the actual, what it costs for the fabrication, well, ordering of the metal, even the design concept, you know, and then the build out of it, of what it really will take to do that project.
Right. But not right away.
Well,
I mean,
no, but I have to have it after my timeline is working backward from April 25th backward up
right.
to today.
I mean, it'll take 4 weeks to make it. Take a couple days to get the material. I mean, this doesn't, in terms of fabrication, it doesn't have to happen till the end of February
Right.
or February, mid-February.
And if I need to send one of the Public Works truck to pick it up, because it's going to be even heavier. What did we used a
It's
well,
not gonna be that heavy. One
Oh.
chair is not that heavy. Maybe 300 pounds at the most.
I think I just used a forklift, you know, to put it on a flatbed to take it over to the install locations.
That's overthinking. It's only 8 feet tall. It'll fit inside a van.
Okay. Maybe my thing is because I was the one that worked on the huge one, the 14-foot one, I mean, the 10
Yeah,
foot.
right.
Yeah, I worked on that large one. I didn't work on the smaller ones.
I mean, the flatbed's real expensive, so all you need is a van, a long wheelbase cargo van. Flatbeds are very expensive to rent, and there's only 2 places in town that rent them. And it's $400 a day, a trip.
One way going, coming? Because I did
Well,
put,
I mean, the cargo van, the flatbed that I used the other day was $500.
Mhm. Okay. All right, I just made notes of what I gotta do and how
I mean, the first thing I need are dimensions. Once I have the dimensions, I can do up a design for you.
okay, sure thing.
And then the steel plate sheet, there's no reason to be any thicker than 1/8 of an inch. Because it's going to be welded to the frame.
Okay.
Uh,
And then what was that Carl was talking about in terms of, no, you were saying that they could, in the concrete, have bolts already set into the concrete? What was that about?
well, there's probably 10 different ways to do this.
Mhm.
You know, we put a pad on each foot like my sculpture and you bolt it down into the concrete. You can, that's one idea, and you can use bolts that can't be unscrewed. You just put them in and then you round out the corners so they don't come out. The other way is to put a telescoping piece of steel that's smaller than the 4x4 chair leg, but a foot high into the concrete. And then the chair slips over that. And then you bolt those two together. We're an hour early.
3:20.
Yeah,
You have to be there 15 minutes before.
okay.
All right, we'll sign off. You got other stuff to do?
I got a doctor appointment.
Okay.
Anyway, so it like sticks
Okay, I
up
got my
like
homework.
this, and then this is embedded in the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
And then the leg slides over that. You know, like that.
Okay.
And then you put a bolt through it. And then you round off the bolt so it can't be taken apart.
And then this other thing about having a slab of it all one piece.
Oh, well, the other thing is you take if the concrete's 4 by, whatever your chair is, let's say your chair is 36 by 36, the footprint. You just put a piece of steel down and weld the chair to the steel, but you still have to bolt. You have to bolt the slab of steel to the concrete. So you have the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
There's no advantage to that.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
I have never had anybody unbolt one of my sculptures ever. And mine
Yeah.
sit in all over the city.
Right.
I mean, the worst thing I ever had were people chain their bikes to my sculpture.
Yeah, that's a pisser offer.
No, I also had people piss on my sculpture, but on Wells. Wells
that's-
and North Avenue.
Does
Right?
that too?
It was near a bar and people would come out of the bar and pee on the sculpture.
So would that piss turn to acid? How much damage does?
It just, well, since it's outside, you get all the salt from the salt trucks
Mm-hmm.
and the snow plows and everything, so. But not much happened. So where you're gonna put it, it shouldn't be any problem at all.
Right, except for, well, yeah, it shouldn't be any, and then what is it about the oxidation of the metal? But once we coat it, it shouldn't be a problem of leaving it just rust in the element, right?
You want it rust or don't?
No, I just asked that question.
Well, I'm not sure what you asked.
Right, I just made it.
Do you want
blanket
it to rust or not to rust?
Well, I mean, I think it's more of a clean finish if it's, protected where it doesn't rust. But
Right,
but I'm just saying the other fabricator left it just like, okay, just let it, and then the city came in along, we got to paint the back of it to make it more uniform. We don't want it to look like a rusted.
Oh, well, that's a different.
Yeah.
I would paint the whole thing.
Okay.
So you make it, you prepare it, you put on a good anti-rust primer, and then you paint it with Rust-Oleum paint.
All right. Thank you, Peter. We'll go back and forth.
And then those pieces that I left, the only value they give is to be across the back of the chair to keep the flat piece from wobbling. That'll probably save you $20 if they're cut off, but they gotta be the pieces have to be wider than the back of the chair. So there may be only 2 or 3 you can get out of that. So you may have to buy some stuff after all, but it's not very expensive, that part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had them take that over to the Public Works yard.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay. Not like toss it, just leave it, because we're not tossing stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they cut out the longest pieces possible that are straight. And then we get those, I can probably use some of those.
Okay. All right, so I got my job cut out for me. Now I can start focusing on my stuff.
Yeah.
I realize we're not gonna use the exact same kind of layout of the other of the chairs that were done in California because there was a lot of flaws on those
Yeah.
in the build of it, but we just want to try to improve them because we're going to push these. I have another MOU that I signed for here in Bronzeville, and it's with Quad City Community Development. I shouldn't make this announcement yet till, but I'll have the project for January 1st, 2026 through December. And it's an art initiative. And I'll be over the funding that's coming in to Bronzeville for this art initiative.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I just signed that MOU on Friday with them, and they're putting together for the proposal. Well, we know there's $1 million coming into this area
Oh, that's great.
from Art and Places, Art and Public Places 2 years ago, meetings that we were going to. And so Quad City Community Development know that I do this work and, you know, put me on that curatorial
Oh, good.
project. So,
Okay, I need to run.
okay.
I'm late. My wife already left. Okay.
Oh, all right. Take care.
Talk to you
Thank
later.
you for
Bye.
everything. All right.